Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, back at it again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Scary Birthday to You. This is the 39th book in the Give Yourself Goosebumps series, and the reason I'm doing this one today of all days is, A, it's my birthday. Well, when this is coming out, I'm recording this the 17th, this comes out the 18th if I'm right, if not soon after. So you know, on my birthday, I'm finally talking about the birthday book that isn't the lie, you know what I'm talking about, the other quote-unquote birthday book, as well as it's just the time of the month. I review a Black Spine every month. It's kind of a thing that I've been wanting to do. I did it in both past couple months, 2 months I believe. We're going to continue the trend with another Black Spine, and this time just so happens that my birthday is coming around. So we'll do Scary Birthday to You, as well as the fact that it has quite a decent cult following. I know a couple people who really like this book, specifically for a certain aspect of it, the villain, and I gotta say, heading into this, I can really see why people dig this one. But do I dig it? Let's find out. And now for the blurb. It's your party. You can scream if you want to. Your parents have to work on your birthday, but don't worry, they've hired some guy to create a special horror birthday party for you. Can you say lame? They must have forgotten you're turning 12, not 2. But then Dr. Macduff arrives and turns your friend into a live balloon animal. Now you have two choices: open your presents or play party games. If you open presents, you could be the proud owner of a vicious wolf. If you decide to play paintball, you end up dodging paint capsules filled with acid. The choice is yours in this scary Goosebumps adventure that's packed with over 20 super spooky endings. Wowzers. That's a bonkers description there of this bonkers story. So this GYG is very different from your GYG because it has a reoccurring villain character, which is not extremely common, but extremely uncommon at the same time. But this villain character is super prominent in the book, and for good reason, or rather a good way. Yeah, let's just dive into my upsides. We're not going to waste any time and talk about Dr. Macduff. The villain of this book, Dr. Macduff, is ballistic, and in the best way possible. And I think he turned out just right for what the ghost writers were cooking up. Yeah, ghost written. Oh, hard to believe, I know. I'll get to that later. Dr. Macduff is amazing. Just flat out gonna tell you, not gonna sugarcoat it. Dr. Macduff is amazing. He has some of the frickin' most insane bonkers twists about him, because there's some insane things that get revealed about Dr. Macduff. He may or may not be a normal guy in some endings that maybe maybe got, you know, bad luck. Maybe he's not a normal guy at all and he's just fucking crazy, and maybe he's not the real Dr. Macduff. I couldn't tell you. There's so many different versions of his, you know, reveals about GYG that you can't interpret the real one. And there's some bonkers twists in here that I really like involving Dr. Macduff. And that's only a half of him that I like. His design is really cool. It's just this creepy clown. He has this, like, pale vomit green makeup all over his face, sharp, jagged teeth, and some really unnerving eyes. Not to mention his suit is strange. He's just this creepy looking clown guy, and he's fucking ballistic. Getting to that finally, this is the main thing that I love about him. He has some crazy antics in this story. Bonkers, bullshit, good bullshit, and just, like I keep saying, ballistic. He fucking insane. The paintball acid stuff is super fucking cool. I absolutely love that. It was probably my favorite aspect of the story. Probably his most ballistic thing he did. Some of the birthday presents are really crazy. Some of the things that he makes these kids do involving maybe a scavenger hunt are crazy. His idea of fun is crazy. Some of the endings involving him are crazy. Last one. Yeah, this guy is just a fun, crazy psychopath of a villain, and I love it. Not to mention the literal first scene of him, he turns this human girl, completely innocent, into a human fucking swan. It's horrible. It was very, very disturbing to read about that. Very horrible, especially when he has to turn her back at some in a specific ending. It's wild. So Dr. McDeath, praising rant out of the way. Not a rant, like the opposite. This story had some great plot lines as well as great ideas. You know, for a birthday GYG, you'd think it'd be pretty limited. Alright? No! It actually uses the birthday theme to get out some, you know, not usual GYG ideas. The last time I saw a scavenger hunt in a GYG was trapped in Batwing Hall. And I think this did what, well, Batwing Hall wasn't bad, this just did it way cooler. There were some creepy things that these kids had to retrieve, and some creepy scenes attached to them, like the graveyard, and the basement scene just being creepy in its natural way, because it's a dark basement, and there's rats. It's just a naturally creepy scene, especially since they have to pick up a decomposed rat. Gross. Not decomposed, but like, it's a dead rat. Gross as shit. As well as just some really other crazy things these kids have to do that are really cool, involving the party game storyline. The present storyline was also decent for how short it was, and it was fun. Just, you know, the idea of opening a present and getting something absolutely horrific out of it is really cool. And one of them did lead to a particularly interesting thing that I was kind of mixed on, but I still, at the end of the day, kind of enjoyed, which was one of the reveals that Dr. MacDeath is doing this for his father. I'll keep it very vague for those who haven't read it and are still watching. It's very, very strange, but I kind of, it grew on me when I originally read it. Because it's just so out there, and he completely loses his Dr. MacDeath character in the ending. He's just a normal guy, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that part of the story. Now, overall, this is just a fun, ballistic, crazy GYG that has a birthday theme. Also, it is not limited at all, almost. For being a book that is 70% of it being taking place in this house or in this yard, it feels like it's not limited and it can do anything it wants, especially since there is scenes that are out of the house. I mean, there's a scene in the graveyard, there's scenes in other houses, there's scenes in many places. I mean, on the other side of the planet for one moment, so it's really not very limited. And that's probably because it's a GYG, as you might expect. So yeah, great GYG with some flaws. Who would have guessed? There are a couple really poopy endings. Alright, this ending is one of the weakest endings I've ever seen, and let's just say it involves Dr. MacDeath coming to see his kids tomorrow. Not in the way you'd think. Alright, he's the principal of this school. Funny enough, I read this right before I went back to school, and this is actually taking place late August. And there's a back to school ending. Yeah, she must suck having your birthday right before you go back to school. That would be fucking terrible. And then Dr. MacDeath's the principal. It's a horrible ending. It's so random and stupid. I didn't like it. Did not like it. And if I had anything else to say negative about this book, there were some storylines that, well, minor storylines didn't do it. Like the Presence one, there was a weaker present in there, and I think it was actually, no, it wasn't the wolf one. There was one I didn't like very much. As well as Horror Place. Weak-ass name, I know. But there's a part of this book called Horror Place, and it's basically Horrorland, but, you know, not on steroids and killing kids. It's just a creepy theme park. And, it doesn't even involve Dr. MacDeath, first of all. He's like, alright, here's your next part of the party. It's just a normal clown in this storyline. He drives them there, and then they're done. Done with him. There's two endings there. Both of them are really mediocre. And it's just a very rushed segment. I was clearly just trying to wrap up. You know, just get a couple more pages in, 2 more endings just to get it to that certain number. Yeah. That's about it that I disliked about Scary Birthday to You. Let's move on to my rating. Scary Birthday to You gets a strong 9 out of 10. I wish I loved it more, but I still really enjoyed this book, and in fact, I think it is highly above average and highly great. This is one of the greatest UIGs I have read thus far. And if you're looking for a bonkers, wild, and well, shocking read, maybe read it. You might be surprised. Also, amazing cover art. Holy shit. It's just a nasty birthday cake. And this is a scene in the book. This isn't clickbait. This happens. So, really cool. I wanted to wrap up this video with one quick thing. And this didn't bother me. It's just something I thought was really funny. This is the most obviously ghost-written Goosebumps book of all time. Just gonna flat out tell you. Maybe not of all time. There might be a GOIG out there who that just has the most bonkers, not Stine thing ever. But the endings in this book, there's something about him that doesn't feel like he was, fitting in with the other GOIGs. About 10 of them have a pun that you don't see often, right? Every GOIG, there's like a couple, maybe 2 or 3 puns that change the words, the end, or make a joke out of it, or do something different than just, it's the end, here's an ending. There's always those couple endings, GOIGs. There were like 10 here. And all of them were wildly just out of place. Not in a bad way, it's just like, for the average GOIG, this feels strange. Very strange to have this many in this way. Thought it was really funny. This is the most obviously ghost-written book I've ever read, because those endings do not feel right when it comes to fitting in with the other GOIGs. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and I want to hear what you guys think. Do you like Scary Birthday? Do you? Or do you hate it? Or do you love it? I know a couple people do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.